Hey guys, I'm back. So, what we're going to be doing today is, like I said in my last video, was that I wanted to get, like, once I finished off with the Space Wolf stuff, I was going to do with the stuff that's in the Space Wolves army, but it's not exactly in the Space Wolves section of the book. So it's like drop pods, rhinos, razorbacks, land raiders, you know, the whole thing. So, and also with the Primaris Space Marines. So also, it's also basically the ACNR in my house is busted. So you're going to be hearing a lot of fans. Okay. Also, I'm kind of sweating, so I have my iced tea with me. You can imagine it's Fenrisian ale. Okay, in the Space Marine section, okay, so basically a Wolf Lord is represented by a captain's stat line. So, let's see. Chapter organization. Oh, I didn't see that part. I'll read up on that later. Okay. Ow. A side note, they've made the Blood Ravens a chapter, an official chapter that you can play. Gabriel Angelos has his own rules on Forge World. I think it was Forge World, because they said at the Warhammer Fest that they were going to have Gabriel Angelos. So, let's get to the stuff we know, shall we? Okay. The Space Marine Captain is they have Space Marine Captains in Power Armor, Terminator Armor, and in Gravis Armor. Now, they have the rule for Cataphractii Armor, but the thing is, the Space Wolves don't have Cataphractii Armor. Why don't they have Cataphractii Armor? They released Cataphractii Armor last year, and they still don't have it. They don't even have that. They don't even have, what is it? Tartaros Pattern Armor. And when I saw Tartaros Pattern Armor, I was like, oh my gosh, the rules are amazing for this thing. Why don't the Space Wolves have it? Okay. So a captain so basically a captain can hit on 2s, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 5, attacks 4, leadership 9, 3+. They have a thing called Rites of Battle, which is simply the Jarl of Fenris rule, which says you can re-roll ones to hit for friendly characters. Terminator Armor, you can do the teleport strike. The thing is, I like the way they've done deep striking for models now. So as long as you're when you deep strike 9 inches away from an opponent, what happens is that you can, but the thing is, like, you can charge, and you can also you can charge, and you can move about 9 inches. No, you have to be 9 inches away from your opponent, but you can still charge from deep striking, even if you're in Terminator Armor, or if you did a jump pack assault. A captain in Gravis Armor is a 2+ weapon skill, but now the Gravis Armor is the Primaris Marine thing. The captain in Terminator Armor has a thing called a wrist-mounted grenade launcher. Huh. I wonder if... that's not it. Huh. I will have to take a look at this. Because a wrist-mounted grenade launcher is an assault D3, so basically they can advance and fire D3, strength 4, AP -1 for a grenade launcher. I'll have to take a look at that. Unless it's the storm frag, unless it's that grenade launcher that the... I'll have to take a look at that one day. Let's see. That's the thing. Gravis armor is basically power armor. It's basically a special Terminator armor that does not give you makes them more durable, but like it gives you a toughness of a 5. So it's kind of like it's a Thunderwolf, but it's not a Thunderwolf. You have a captain on bikes. I love that these guys. The thing is like I love that the Space Wolves have these new not new rules, but what they've done is they've made it so that Space Wolves can really get into combat, which is their strength. Blood Claws can reroll it's you have to be careful because the thing is the Space Wolves have many characters, so you can have a vast army, but the thing is the characters are going to need a lot of protection because 6+ reroll fail to hit rolls, 6+ reroll and decent reroll 1s to hit, reroll 1s to wound, reroll wound rolls. These are very good. Let's see. These are librarians. These are tech marines. We don't. Oh yeah, we get servitors, but I don't find the use in servitors anymore unless as a meat shield for an iron priest. Because what is it? Servitors can move 5 inches. They hit on 4. They hit on 5s with weapon and ballistic skill. They're strength 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, with 1 attack each. Now they have a thing called Mind Lock, which improves their weapon and ballistic skill to a 4+ and their leadership to a 9, whilst they are within 6 inches of any friendly tech marine. It's kind of interesting because with the tech marine, with the servitors back in, they had they could not voluntarily move unless unless an iron priest was with them, iron priest or tech priest, and it caused they really couldn't do anything unless a iron priest was there with them. I just love the plasma cannon now. I have my long fangs have 2 plasma cannons, and I've wanted to use them, but the thing is, because of the gets hot rule, it's resulted in a lot of issues of, okay, I don't want to kill this model, so I'm glad that GW is like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make 2 weapon profiles for the plasma weapons. That what we're gonna do is we're going to make it so that they can't get hot, but if you want to overcharge them, which gives them more power and more damage, then okay, that'll kill them. And now this time it'll actually kill them. It can even overcharging a plasma weapon can even kill a vehicle if you're not careful. Ah, that feels good. All right. Apothecaries are nice. Well, are kind of nice. The thing is, with standard Space Marine apothecaries, they're capable of bringing back a unit. No, they're capable of bringing back a model that a unit has lost in battle. But the thing is that with the Iron Priests, with the Wolf Priests, they are chaplain and apothecary, so they had to give something So they kind of had to give up something. So I kind of had to make them give up a little something. Alright. Primaris Lieutenants. They hit on. They have a weapon skill of a 2+, ballistic skill of a 3, tactical precision. You can reroll one. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for friendly chapter units that are within 6 inches of this model. So it's Company Heroes. During deployment, all models in this unit must be set up at the same time, though they do not need to be set up in unit coherency. From that point onwards, each Primaris Lieutenant is treated as a separate unit. I'm going to have to take a look at that one more time later on. A master-crafted auto bolt rifle. I just love that. It's an assault too, so basically on a 4, you can hit on 4s after advancing. And he's got a power sword. The way I see it is that, yeah, we don't get Company Ancients. We don't get Company Ancients. Primaris Ancient. Here we go. Astartes Banner. Units within 6 inches of any friendly ancient add 1 to their leadership. In addition, roll a d6 each time a chapter infantry model is destroyed within 6 inches of any friendly ancients before removing the model as a casualty. On a 4+, that model musters 1 last surge of strength before succumbing to its wounds. It can either shoot with one of its weapons as if it were the shooting phase, or make a single attack as if it were the fighting phase. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, if you can if someone destroys one of your models, destroys a model from your squad, like so on a 4+, if like that model is killed, they can try to fight back. They can try to shoot one more time before they die. I might actually get one of those. It's kind of good to kind of have these. It's like have that. Maybe I'll have to take a look because it's like Primaris Marines are new to the system. Okay, so we've hit the Primaris stuff. Actually, one of the other things is that it's the Intercessor Squad. Now, the Intercessor Squad is the new things that we've all seen. They have a bolt rifle, a bolt pistol, frag grenades, crack grenades, and they shall know no fear. I kind of like the bolt rifle. It's a rapid fire 1, but it has a range of 30 inches. So basically, at 15 inches, it gives good long range support. Kind of close to a long fang squad. Space Marines. Space Wolves also have access to the Imperial Space Marine, that special limited edition model that GW released some months ago. It has a disintegration combi gun. When attacking with this model, choose one or both of the profiles below. If you choose both, subtract 1 from all hit rolls for this weapon. So the disintegration gun is 18-inch, rapid fire 1, strength 5, -3 armor piercing, with a d6 damage. And he has a disintegration pistol that does the same thing. So you can use that disintegration pistol in close combat, in the shooting phase, of course. Oops. Also, kind of closed the book on myself. Let's see, I was on Honor Guard. Chapter Ancient, nope. Dreadnoughts. Now dreadnoughts are now the thing is, we talked about Bjorn the Fell-Handed and Murderfang, which can move 8 inches, while standard dreadnoughts, even venerable dreadnoughts, can move 6 inches. Unfortunately, there's a little slight bit of unfortunateness when later on in the book that I'll get to. Dreadnoughts have 8 wounds, as we've seen in the profiles during the previews that GW was doing on Warhammer Community. An assault cannon, storm bolter. Now with Space Wolf dreadnoughts, we can take a Hellfrost cannon, and we can also take a Great Wolf Claw. Actually, and what is it? Like, you have to go all the way to the back to get the points. Not the points, but to get the information for a Great Wolf Claw. Let's see. Here we go. A Great Wolf Claw is a Strength +4, AP -2, and does D6 damage, and you can reroll failed wound rolls, which is impressive. And this model may replace a Stormbolter with a Heavy Flamer. This model may replace this Dreadnought combat weapon with a Stormbolter and with a missile launcher or a twin autocannon. Dreadnoughts have gotten better, especially Space Wolf Dreadnoughts, because we have a Blizzard. Because let me get to the venerable part. All right, venerable Dreadnoughts. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, Dreadnoughts hit on 3s in ballistic skill and weapon skill. Venerable Dreadnoughts have a weapon skill of a 2, ballistic skill of a 2. So they hit on 2s, which is amazing. Strength 6, toughness 7, 8 wounds, 4 attacks. Now here's the thing. They have the Fenrisian Great Axe and the Blizzard Shield. So basically, Space Wolves have become a lot better. Our Space Wolf Dreads have become so much better. Now the thing is, like, and also the Fenrisian Great Axe gives you 1 extra attack every time you fight. So and the 3+ invul. And here's a special rule that I think you guys are gonna love. Unyielding Ancient. Every time you roll, every time the Dreadnought loses a wound, even a mortal wound, on a 6, the damage is ignored, and the wound is not lost. So venerable Dreadnoughts have a 6+, feel no pain, which is freaking awesome. Oh, the twin autocannon is a heavy 4, 7 strength, AP -1 with a 2 damage. Let's see. We don't get the Contemptor, which I'm a little annoyed that we don't. We don't get the Ironclad. We don't get Cataphractii Terminator squads. We don't get Tartaros Terminator squads. Okay. Inceptor squads. Now we see in these guys can move 10 inches, so you guys can likely have these guys drop in, or that they can move alongside Fenrisian Wolves and Thunder Wolves, kind of like be a rapid assault in force. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, toughness 5. Oh, that's right, they're in that Gravis armor stuff. That special Gravis armor. They have a thing called Meteoric Descent, which is basically a deep strike rule. They have a rule called Crushing Charge. So roll a d6 each time the Inceptor finishes a charge move within 1 inch of an enemy unit. On a 6+, that unit suffers a mortal wound. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good. Okay, now we've gotten to the vehicle, to some of the good vehicle, to some of the effective vehicles. Land speeders. Now, land speeders can move 16 inches. That's lightning fast. But the thing is that all of their weapons are heavy weapons, so you're going to be hitting on 4s. Assault cannon, heavy bolter, heavy flamer, multi-melta, typhoon missile launcher. Okay, now basically this is a land speeder squadron, so they can. So basically, each time, so models in this unit have a move characteristic of 20 instead of 16, whilst the unit contains 3 models, which is incredible. And also, they with a weapon skill and ballistic skill of 3, and they have 2 attacks each. So you charge them in, they can hit on 3s. And if like it's like a kind of a suicide squad. Rhinos fly. They have fly, so that means that they don't have hard to hit. Here's the thing: they got rid of universal special rules. Rhinos are now so much better than they were. Because the thing is, a lot of people hated taking. There are a lot of people that didn't like taking rhinos, or they had to take a lot of rhinos to make up for the fact that, oh, my opponent is going to try and blast my rhinos into bits. Because the thing is that rhinos were very fragile with like they had 3 hull points. So, a rhino can move 12 inches. 12. That is very good. They have a ballistic skill of a 3+, and they have 3 attacks. Their weapon skill is a 6, which I love the fact that vehicles can now kind of charge and try and kill people. Now, the self-repair rule is no longer bullshit like it was in the last one. On a roll of a 6, if it lost a wound, it can regain a wound. Let's see. It can transport 10 models. Infantry. It cannot transport jump packs, terminators, primaris, or centurions, and it cannot transport wolfen. Let's see. So basically, from what we've got so far, Space Wolves have the armories of the Space Wolves have gotten a major boost, and things are so much easier. Things are so much easier. Sorry about that. Something popped up on my screen. So the thing is like, so let's do a quick tactic thing, a quick brainstorming here. So with the Space Wolves, the things have changed significantly. So with the rule that says that Space Wolves can now take Space Wolves can be like models no longer have to have their individual transports. They can be loaded up in their own transport like say I had this this other time. 5 Terminators with say 5 Terminators in a Storm Wolf with 5 power armored Wolf Guard, or 5 Long Fangs, or 5 Grey Hunters. And what you could do is, and like what the Terminators will be either the fire support, or they're going to be the assault group. And what they're going to do, you can split fire, and like okay, or you can drop in 2 squads of Grey Hunter, 2 5-man squads of Grey Hunters, and a unit of Long Fangs. So and use use the Long Fang's fire discipline to kind of lay down heavy support for your opponent, for the squad, that for the army, and for the unit that the Grey Hunters are going to charge. And here's the thing. Here's one of the best things for Space Wolves. 3-inch. Once they consolidate, like when they do a pile in move, and what they can do is that they can pile into another unit to bring that unit into combat with them. So that way they can continue on. So that way you can kind of, or you can consolidate your unit. So like, okay, I'm going to do a 3-inch consolidation. So you're 3 inches you're 3 inches away from another unit. So you can consolidate from that combat from when you finished off this unit, one unit, you can consolidate into another. Sorry, it's just very hot today. 90 degrees where I am. So things have gotten so much better for the Wolves, and I like it. Razorbacks. They don't have so basically, if a Razorback can move, Razorbacks can move 12 inches, but they have twin weapons. So you have a better chance of shooting at your opponent. Now they have a damage table. Now the thing is that they have a damage table, which over time it reduces their effectiveness. So they have 10 wounds. They can move 12 inches when they're at 10, 6 inches when they're at 5, and 3 inches when they're at 2. But then their weapon skill degrades from 3 to 4 to 5, and an armor and they lose attacks over time. They can still transport 6 units. They can still transport 6 models. But the thing is that I would say load up a Razorback with 5 Long Fangs with a lone wolf with a power armored lone wolf with a storm shield, and you can just charge him in and you can just like, oh, you know what, we're gonna lay down suppressive fire for the lone wolf. So drop pods. Oh, the beautiful drop pods. I have 3 in my army. I need more. Okay, here's some bad news. Dreadnoughts can no longer take drop pods. So no more encirclement maneuvers with dreadnoughts, which is kind of a bad thing. But the fact is that you can, with the survivability of dreadnoughts now, it's not a big loss. It's really not. So, and with the fact that some dreadnoughts can move 8 inches, so dreadnought can move 6 inches, and they have a potential of moving an additional 12. So that they have the potential of moving an additional 6. So that's a 12-inch movement for dreads. And it's like, oh, if they get close enough, then they can really charge into combat. No, we don't have Storm Talons. Oh, wait. Hellblasters, which are a heavy support unit. They have the thing called the Plasma Incinerator. Oh, Plasma Incinerator. It's basically like a bolt rifle. It's still a plasma weapon, but it's like a bolt rifle. But it has the range of a bolt rifle. They all hit on 3s, weapon and ballistic. The thing is that with the Primaris Marines, the only thing that they are good for right now is mid to long range shooting. They're not very good. They can still fight, but the thing is that they have 2 attacks and they have no special close combat weapons whatsoever. So we'll have to, until like maybe what they'll do is something. It's a special Primaris version for the Space Wolves. It's like, oh, it's Primaris Space Wolf Marines can have a Frost Axe or something. of the big among some of the three: Predators, Vindicators, and Whirlwinds. Now, Predators and Whirlwinds can move 12 inches. Vindicators can move 10. The Demolisher cannon is a little interesting. It's a heavy D3, but if a unit contains 5 or more models, it turns into a heavy D6. So, which is going to be most of the time. So, and a Whirlwind has its Castellan launcher, which is heavy 2d6, and its ballistic skills are 3+. So you're gonna want, but the thing is, like, you're gonna have to be careful. Now the thing is that Whirlwinds have 11 wounds, Vindicators have 11 wounds. Whirlwinds have a toughness of a 7. Now it's interesting because the thing is, in 7th edition, Whirlwinds were actually the weakest armors. Have some of the weakest armor. Oh, the thing is with Whirlwinds, their weapons can target units that they cannot see. Predators are very good. I'm kind of annoyed that they took away certain vehicle squadrons, because vehicle squadrons were very fun. I didn't have the models to run a vehicle squadron, but in theory they were very fun on paper. Oh, Land Raiders. Oh, Land Raiders got so much better. So, Land Raiders. All right, so this is the standard Land Raider. The standard Land Raider can move 10 inches. Ballistic skill 3, 6 attacks on the charge, 8 wounds, strength 8, toughness 8, 16 wounds. Power of the Machine Spirit. When it moves, it can fire all of its heavy weapons at normal ballistic skill. And it can move 10 infantry. Each jump pack or Terminator counts as 2 models. Twin Heavy Bolter, Twin Last Cannon. I love how they work with Twin Linked. Twin Linked is so much fun. It's so much better now. Land Raider Crusader. Now here's one. Now the Crusader and the Redeemer have things called frag assault launchers. So when you charge your Land Raider Crusader into combat, they can fire on a roll. You roll a d6 on a 4+. Your enemy loses D3 mortal wounds. That is amazingly good. So basically, it can attack. So basically, on the charge, that's basically D3 auto hit. That's basically D3 auto hits and auto wounds that can. And then in close combat, it's 6 attacks. You hit on 6s, but it's so good. It's so much better. Power of the Machine Spirit, of course, can transport 16 models. The Redeemer, the Land Raider Redeemer, has the same kind of outline, has the same kind of profile, but its primary weapon is the Flamestorm Cannon, which is a heavy D6. Automatically hits its target. So basically that is all the stuff that the Space Wolves get. Actually, they get the Rhino Primaris and the Land Raider Excelsior from the Warhammer World books. But here's the thing: the Space Wolves have become. The thing is, like, we've noticed that they've balanced it out. They've made Space Wolves okay. They made Space Wolves actually rather okay to play. They didn't short shank us. They didn't shank us in the back. They people got complained in communities when they heard that, oh, space, like Thunderwolves kind of got toned down a little. And the thing is that we really never lost our we're fighters, but the thing is we're also hunters, so they kind of let us keep that hunting ability. We have models that allow, we have special war gear that allow us to reroll hits, reroll wounds, and reroll charge distances. And we even have things that allow us to prevent our models from getting killed in the morale, from fleeing in the morale phase. So the way I see it is that if you're strong enough, so the way I see it is that it's very effective in doing many things. We are like, the thing is like, back in when Curse of the Wolfen came out, one of the major effects that I loved was the Death Wolves. And I know you guys have heard me say this, the Death Wolves were awesome, but let's say this, oh, the Death Wolves were so awesome, the Death Wolves were so good, because the thing is, I saw the hunter mentality of the Space Wolves in the Death Wolves company, because most of the army could outflank the opponent. Now here's the thing I'm hoping for in the Space Wolves Codex release. It's that, okay, what we can, like, you know how we have chapter tactics for like the Ultramarines or Standard Marines. I think I remember hearing them say they confirmed the chapter tactics, but what they're going to try to, but I hope what they're trying to do is company tactics. Because company tactics for the Space Wolves would be incredibly effective, because like we have ways of, because this thing is like, we now have ways of getting to the front of the battle without being completely wiped out. We're good at drop pods. We're good at launching assaults. Our Storm Fang, basically people have found that the Storm Wolf and the Storm Fang have now become a lot better than in the previous edition. People used to just go for the Storm Wolf, but now that they've changed a lot of the rules and weapons, the Storm Fang can now be played, and people are loving it. Actually, so like, what you could do is you could drop, and the thing is that when it comes to flyers, you don't have to put the flyer in hover mode to have them jump. You have to have units disembark. So basically you can disembark, so basically they can be zooming. So basically it's like the rule says, at the start of the movement phase, before you move the flyer, before you move a unit, before you move the vehicle, models can disembark from the vehicle. So before the flyer zooms off, they jump out of the back or out the front of the flyer, and they ready themselves, and they begin their assault. So by far, this is so far this is kind of review and talk of the Space Wolves part. When the Codex comes out, so likely after I get a few games, so basically after I get a few games in, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to compile some information and see how effective my games have become. So, and then I'm going to, then I'm just going to keep my eye out, keep my ears to the ground about the Space Wolves Codex. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Hope you found it very informative, and enjoy, and happy hunting.